Fun and games on the farm. Ronnie got on the tractor and did some more yeoman's ploughing today down the home paddock. So in relation to this, the caravan is the orchard garden and the house. So we're down the back, and all was going well because we had a lot of rain in the last 24 hours, which is great because the ground's quite wet. And we were coming along here, the royal we, Ronnie on the tractor, and
lo and behold,
oops.
I found the main water line from the creek to the tank, which I knew was here somewhere, but not exactly sure. But I thought it'd be much deeper than what I was ripping. So, but the plough pulled it out of the ground and broke it. So I've gone into town and got some pipe and joiners, so we'll join it up. But it's one of the unexpected events that happened on day to day. Cool.
And I said to Ronnie, doesn't really matter, does it? We can do it. And he said, well, if we don't rejoin it, we have no toilet, because this
Yep.
tank is what we use to flush our toilet. So, yes.
And the water troughs and the gardens watering.
Yep, so currently there's no taps working to the garden. So there's the tractor in waiting.
Yep. And now I know where the pipe runs. And it's that far under the ground instead of, I thought it'd be at least 150 or 15 centimetres to 30 centimetres a foot, but no, it wasn't. It was just below the surface.
And the other thing we found as we're walking along the paddock was our favourite little hen. Is nesting in the paddock. She's a classic. Every day she gets out, and then every day she comes when she sees us to go back in, because that's where the feed is. So the caravan is way up there, so she had a wee walk and comes all the way down here and lays her eggs. But she also has another nest in the wood pile that I found, so I'll show you that as well. Our roosters are really noisy today. So we've got this little wood pile, and Miss Speckle was on top of it today, letting us know she'd laid an egg. So I came and had a look, and lo and behold, under there's a couple of eggs as well. So at least we know that's where she's got her nest. And yes, Alan is making lots of noise. That's Roger in the orchard just then. That's Alan, and then Tom and Jerry. So all the boys are talking to each other today, letting us know who's boss. So noisy. So the pump is back in action. That's 3 hours out of Ronnie's day. He's put a connector in the bottom bit there, and one there, a new piece of hose. And we're just making sure it's not leaking before we cover it with dirt. And then he started ploughing again, except there was a big hunk of wire randomly in the paddock, as you find. And so it's dug that up, and then the coulter's out of alignment, so he's had to fix that up. Had to think of what the name is. The sharp disc that cuts the ground before the tine goes in. So he's had to fix that up, and so it was pulling out these big hunks of dirt. And now he'll get it going again, and let's see how we go. He did some up the end of the paddock, but it was just, the grass was too long and it was pulling hunks out, so he's going to flail mower the paddock. But he's just doing a couple of rows, as you do. So back in action. That looks better. Looks like what it's supposed to look like. Occasionally you get these big hunks. But he is going to sow some seed down some of these lines, because the grass in this paddock is a bit howdy-doody. So he's going to put some pasture seed in. Hopefully that'll take, because we've had a little bit of rain and it's still nice and warm. So I'm working in the berry patch today, looking at the strawberries. We've had so many strawberries. I wish I weighed them actually, but they're slowing down now and we're getting lots of runners, which is good because I'm actually harvesting some of the runners, but took a bit of a hit on the really warm, hot days, and now some of the leaves, you know, which is normal for strawberries, they start to die off and regrow. So what I'm doing is just chopping off all the old ones and just fixing the beds up, putting some more mulch down, and hopefully they'll keep producing for a little while. They look nice and healthy still. We have got rhubarb for days. I need to stew some rhubarb. And I left a couple of tomatoes that volunteered to grow in the strawberry bed, and they've just gone wild, as you can see. There's a few little tomatoes on them, but I've certainly had a good tomato crop this year. I'm on my third lot of relish that I'll finish doing today, which we love, and that'll keep us in relish for most of the year. And you can see there's a couple of little tomatoes growing, but we've got our first little blackberry is there, which is great, but we've actually been harvesting blackberries out of the creek, which are the wild blackberries. But look at these beautiful zinnias, they're so lovely. This is the most gorgeous zinnia flower. So I planted a few of those early spring, and I wasn't sure whether they were going to come into flower, but they're just delightful. So the blackberries are growing really well. Not a lot of fruit. Well, that looks like a new flower, which is exciting. And the summer raspberries have really finished, but we've got lots of, I'm in the raspberry patch. We've got lots of, which I assume is the start, I could be wrong. It's either the start of the autumn raspberries or it's late summer. I'm not sure, but there's quite a few. Oh, there's so many spiders in here. But I'll take you back out the end into the asparagus bed. Everything is growing beautifully, but yes, that's the raspberry patch. It's wild. But everything is growing beautifully. Can you see this little head poking out of my strawberry patch? Somebody else likes being in the sun. Gave me a little bit of a fright. We'll see if we can coax him back into the paddock. Robert's just getting his boots on. He's a nice looking snake, but I don't want him in my strawberry patch. Can you see him? Ooh. And I was in there this morning. Well, no success again. He slithered away from us very, very quickly. Man, they go quick. So don't know where he went. He was in there somewhere. Let's hope he's gone out into the paddock, because I was in there this morning. Note to self, make sure you wear long pants, boots and gloves. Alright, I've come on some wild blackberry hunting. There's a massive patch here and you can see there's quite a few blackberries I've started to collect, but it's tricky to get through. There's lots of long grass. Technically I don't think this is our property. That's where the cows and sheep are. But I'm in here, and being that we just saw a massive snake, I'm a little bit hesitant, but oh, for the love of blackberries, I'm going in. Let's hope it's worth it. The quest continues. I've now moved back onto our property down by the creek, and there's lots. They're just not quite ready yet. I've got a bit of a bucket, and you can hear the creek. You can't really see it, but you can hear it. So I'm going to continue. There's so many. I can't get across the creek today because it rained, so I'll keep going. That just about does it for the night. My hands are sore, they've got thorns in them, cuts on me, but a good haul. Some nice blackberries, no snakes, but an enormous amount of wombat poo. But there's a lot here that are not ripe, so if I just keep coming out every 3 or 4 nights, we'll be able to get some more and maybe be able to forage some more and put some in the freezer, hopefully. But there's lots there. So that's it. I'm down the creek end now, a bit near Mrs. Willow, and I can hear Robert mowing the lawn. So I'll head home. But successful blackberry harvest. So we're just setting up the portable gates because today's Rambo's big day. We're going to tail him today. So we've got the portable gates. Let's see if I can get that in. And we're going to try and get the sheep from in here and get Mama sheep and Rambo, so that we can then tail him and give him his vaccine. He might not be so happy afterwards. It's going to hurt a little bit, but he's 2.5 weeks old, so the earlier we get to dock his tail, the better, and his testicles. So we'll see how we go. The girls have come down to the gate to see what's happening, but girls, we don't want you today. We want the sheep, so somehow we have to get them back and get the sheep in here without letting the cows in. A little bit of logistics. We'll work on it. But I was just noticing how spring rain, her head is molting, so a lot of her heavy fur is come off her head. And we think she might be in heat at the moment because she's acting a bit strange, but we don't have any gentlemen for you at the moment. All done. Rambo's had his tail docked. He's a little bit sore, so we've just put him in the pen with Mum so he can have a drink, so she won't run off on him because he's a little bit sore. And then we've got all the other sheep in the pen here. We'll let them out soon, but we just wanted to give them a little bit of time to get used to it. And Rambo, he's a bit sore, poor darling, but it needs to be done. They can't have a long tail hanging down because then it's a risk of getting fly blown and getting their poo stuck. So need to get their tail docked. And hopefully the younger you do it, the better. He's 2.5 weeks old. If we had the rings, we could have done it a little bit earlier, but we only just got those, so better to do it now as soon as possible. So hopefully tomorrow he'll be feeling a bit better. This is dear old Dad, Ramsey here. Good job, Ramsey. Of the next sheep, I think this one here is going to be the next one to lamb, and possibly this one here. We've got one sheep and she's got white face. She's a pretty old girl, but this one here, if you can see, you probably can't see, but her udder's pretty big, and she was giving Rambo a bit of a lick this afternoon, so I'm suspecting in the next week or so we'll see how we go. Hopefully we should have another couple of lambs. All going well. So I think she's going to turn around. There you go, you can probably see her udder there. It's getting very large. Ambro's up and moving. He's had a drink, and we're just that's the other mama. Just let them back into the other paddock for the night. See how they go. They're moving off. Off they go. Rambo's following. Bit stressful. We might have to do a late night check to see whether we've got a overnight lamb. I think this ewe is very close to lambing. Night sheep. So we come out to check the sheep this morning after tailing Rambo last night, and we have a new baby. As we predicted, Miss Red Tag has become a mama. And Robert thinks it's only an hour old, and it's a baby girl. So we're going to call her Esther. So she will become part of our flock. Congratulations, Mama. She hasn't had a drink yet. But look how cute she is. They grow so quickly. A little bit darker than Rambo. Well done, Mama. Esther's still a little bit wobbly on her feet, so I helped her stand up and guide her towards the teat, and she's had her first little drink, which is good. But she's a bit wobbly. That little tail. Wobbly in her legs. Mama having a good sniff. New life on the farm. It's tough, isn't it, Esther, being born? Yeah, that's the first time I've seen her walk. A bit wobbly. It's not at that end. It's gorgeous. How exciting, and I think we're going to have another one in the next few days as well, so it's all action. So we came out to the paddock to check on Esther and Mum, and Esther was not looking very good. It was hot, and so we've just transferred her down to the home paddock in the pen, and we've just made up some milk and given her some colostrum, but she doesn't look very good. So hopefully she'll pull through, but she's very weak. So whether or not something happened during the birth or what happened, but Mama is worried and we are worried. Hopefully she pulls through. We can't do any more than what we've done. We've popped her in the shade, given her a little bit of colostrum, and we'll just, hopefully she'll come good.
Well, here's Esther next day. She survived the night, and Tani has been actually milking the sheep and getting about 50 ml out of her udder and feeding that to baby lamb. He actually looks a bit stronger than yesterday.
Yeah.
But she gets a little bit of milk in her and she just wants to sleep. So, I think she'll be alright, but Mum's such a good mum. She just stands there while Tan milks her. She wants to be a mum. Hopefully the lamb will take to mum eventually, because we don't really want to bottle feed her the whole time. But we'll do what we need to.
So happy to report, I think all is going to be okay with Esther. Just fed her, tried to get her on Mum. She had a couple of little sucks, but she's getting a lot stronger and she's looking keener. And I just bottle fed her and gave her probably some of Mum's milk that I've been getting off Mum. Never milked a sheep before. The things you do. And then we've got some lamb's milk that we've made up. So recommendations say about 500 mils a day for the first week, about 5 feeds. So if I do it every 3 hours today, hopefully she'll get the strength, and then we'll get back onto Mum at some stage. That's the plan. If I keep up Mum's milk supply, then Esther, but she certainly looks a lot stronger, and this feed she actually sucked. So I'm excited. It's been a stressful 24 hours, but I think she'll make it. So and she is very, very cute. We've just fixed up the pig pen that the pigs were in, and we're going to make that as the lambing pen. So pop the mamas in there when they've had their babies, just to protect them. Certainly good for foxes as well. But this is a good mama, and she's got lots of milk. It's just Esther needs to find it, don't you, darling? No? Alright, so I'll show you all about Esther, and we'll show you as she gets bigger. So cute. She's, oh, trying to find it herself. That's exciting. First time I've seen that. I thought she was going to have a drink, but anyway, they're better signs. And Mum still loves her. Here we are, Friday morning, Lammy number 3. Oh, she's cute. Just missed it. Just come up to check on her. And there she is. She's a cutie. I think it's another ewe lamb. I have to get a bit closer. She's got a little black spot on her here. Look at her. Very cute. So get her away from me, but Mama's doing the right stuff. Happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday. You can see the placenta there, so it's just happened. Yet to catch one in action, huh? Keep trying.
Our third lamb born to whiteface, and this one's called Belle, a little ewe. She's a multicoloured little thing. She's got a little bit of tan in her, and she's looking really good. Mum's happy with that. And our nursery lamb, she's had a couple of drinks on her own, and she's much stronger than what she was, and now she's going to the teat, and we think she's had a couple of feeds, but we'll give her another top up in a little while just to give her some more strength. But both are looking well now.
You just skipped over there.
Yep. They're very cute. So it's the third lamb born. I don't think there's any more ewes due for at least a month by the look of their udders. So we'll see what happens.
So the final conclusion to our day, we've just put both mamas and both little ewe lambs, Esther and Belle, in what used to be where the pigs were. So they're fully enclosed, safe from foxes, and close to the home paddock, so we can keep a good eye on them. Still giving Esther a couple of bottles, but she is starting to have a little drink, but not enough to sustain her. Whereas Belle, she's right into it. Oh, that's the first bar I've heard Esther do. Oh, that's good. That's good news. So they'll work it out. So, pretty happy with how it's all worked out. Alright, we'll leave them to it until the next set of lambs, which will probably be in about a month's time, hopefully. We think there's at least a couple more ewes in lamb. So yet again, thanks for watching our farm happenings. And until next time. Bye.